This is the Bar Steward's Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
And a very good evening, chaps. It's the Bar Steward Inquiry. Yes, we're back. It's not quite the Friday tipping show, but there's elements of it. It might be Friday come the time you listen, but we are looking at the Friday card at Newmarket in York, and then Super Saturday as it's billed. More like Stupid Saturday, I think, for a lot of us at the moment. But hoping to put some smiles on your faces and a few quid in your back pockets are my usual cohorts, Mr. Lee Keys, John Leng, and Quentin Franks. Chaps, good evening. How are we? Yeah, you can sense the enthusiasm. You can sense the enthusiasm from the room, I think. But
Lee speaks for all of us there.
yes, I think he did. Well, we're just recording sort of tail end of the first day at HQ. I mean, before we get into it, anyone had any joy out of today? I certainly haven't.
No, fucking miserable.
The civil servant that looked like pissing it on tipping points, he collapsed like a cardboard box in the semi-final.
Oh.
Got overall by some old granny that didn't have a fucking clue what she was doing. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Sounds like one of our edge bets, that, John. Right. Well, there's fucking loads to get through. We've got a fair share tomorrow with 6 TV races and then about 49 on Saturday. So without further ado, we shall crack on. And 3 best bets as always across tomorrow and Saturday. I'm going to come to John Leng because I don't know where he's going. He could be in Limerick. He could be the Isle of Man. It could be anywhere. So John, you can kick us off, please.
Well, seeing as it's Super Saturday, I've tried to keep it simple and stay within the confines of the regional boundaries, and I'm sticking with it within the three major meetings. And they're all on Saturday as well, which helps a great deal, I'm sure. The first one is in the 3:45 at York on Saturday. It's a tremendously boring selection. It is Al Karim, who is by far the most consistent in this field. The rest of the field, in all honesty, are a bunch of cunts. What you're betting on here, you're betting on the jockey getting the fractions right. From what I've seen, he would be a shade of odds on to get the fractions right. This is odds against. Back him, collect after the race.
Yep, no, a simple but effective start from John, the ever reliable Al Karim. He does it round here quite often, so I can certainly get your case there. There's not much to dislike. Hopefully a quick win to kick us all off midway through Saturday. Lee Keys, what have you got for us for your third best, please?
Okay, third best. 3 o'clock tomorrow at Newmarket, July course. Of course, and my tactics this weekend are Charlie Apple Pie. The stable has set a light, as we have seen today, and I think that's the tactic for this weekend. If anyone starts opposing his runners, you'll go skint. And the first one is Endless Victory in the mile and 3/4 handicap, 3 o'clock race. Big prize money for 13 runners. They can't fill races these days. We're not bothered about that, though, when it comes to punting. We're just saying that the Ascot running the Copper Horse, was it the Copper Horse? Yeah, the Copper Horse.
Yeah.
Was very eye-catching, strong through the line, very strong. Bad draw. You can't win from stall 14 in the Copper Horse. Had to come from the back. Everything was wrong. It's so unexposed. It's got really, really strong form prior to that. This is mustard. It's Colonel Mustard at around 5-1. And that's where we're going. We're all Cluedo here. 5-1, 9-2. That kind of price. We love this game. I'll be Johnny Mercer after this. And this is a good horse.
The famous catchphrase. Yeah, no, we like that. And as you say, he's just knocked 2 in last 2 races there. So this is their manner, unfortunately, that unlikable lot. So you can do no better than follow them in. So no, I completely get that one, Lee. Endless Victory, the polar opposite of how we're all feeling at the minute. Let's hope we get this one right. Quentin Franks, I'm going to come to you, please, for your third best.
Third best, Jack. I'm going to go to the opener tomorrow. Price has ebbed away a bit, but Urban Glimpse I'd still have a shade shorter than 11-4. Form from last time out's worked out well. Strong on the clock on the previous start at Sandown. You've seen Cape Breton come out and win. A good time at Salisbury. Asman Warrior, that's come out and won its novice. Dante's Lads followed up at Windsor, I think it was. Looks a progressive type. Pedigree suggests he's going to keep on improving. Steady Fractions wouldn't have suited that day. And given how they've been going today, stronger pace tomorrow, also 1 point win.
Balding team that are in form, and Mr. Murphy, who is trying to earn every penny he can get at the moment, but it looks like he will be for a while longer. So no, good stuff from Quentin there. I shall finish things off in the 2:45 at York tomorrow, the Summer Stakes, Group 3 for the Fillies. John Lang's favourite sort of race, and I'm sticking to the theme here. I'm going with the Fav. We love a Fav. Siada Darian for Richard Hughes and Billy Lochnan. I think this horse comes into this still a little bit underrated. It's run very well at decent prices on the last two occasions. Third at Newbury behind Symbol of Honour and Ides of March. You've done that form no wrong. And then fourth last time out in the Commonwealth Cup at a very big price. I mean, the form looks a bit iffy on the face of it, but I thought that ran very well and finished off the race nicely. Shadow of Light obviously didn't show his best form in the race, but has come out and run well at Deauville. And Whistle Jacket's a pretty favourable runner for the July Cup on Saturday. So I think this should have the beating of the rest here. 3-year-olds to the fore in this race, 7 out of the last 10 renewals. And I don't think there's much to beat. I'm not a massive fan of the shirts. It's kind of admirable, but often finds one too good. Celandine won the Lowther last year, and we were all opposing that. And she looked like a type that I'm unsure would have trained on, really. And obviously comes here on reappearance. Not much cop the older horses, so I think this should go in and get us off to a favoured start from Trap 3 at York, which we know the low draws often play out. So Siada Darian for me to kick off and finish round 1. Who am I going to come to for round 2? I'm going to go with Lee Keys, please. What have you got for us?
Yay. Again, the same sort of philosophy of the apple pie.
Yeah.
In fact, all three of mine are apple pies. This
Put him in a
weekend.
Trixie.
Yeah, I'm not stupid. You can't go against the grain.
No.
You know, you've seen it today. The carrots are in. That's it. This is it. It's a good meeting. He had a bad Ascot. He's got to impress the man back in Dubai. The man in Dubai is probably really pissed off at the Ascot they had. And I reckon this is the tonic for the man in Dubai that changed people to radiators.
So they've been getting a radiator ready for him, weren't
Yeah, rumours that Wicks have had a massive order of radiators come in the last week. So
there you go. Under the threat of that, my 2-point bet is Bedouin Prince on Saturday in the 325. That's the 3-year-old bet 365 Mile Handicap. Again, £50,000 worth of sovereigns for 7 runners. The state of our game. It's really, really bad, isn't it? This one was ridiculously impressive at Newmarket. Some will say, well, it had the stands rail. I'm not buying any of that shit. It was absolutely uber impressive. It gave weight to very good horses. And again, a mark of 100. The only thing I'm surprised at with this is they should have this entered like in some stakes races. I mean, it's a stakes horse for me. A mark of 100, that's bollocks. It's better than that. That's the only confusion I've got on that in terms of why they haven't. But apart from that, I do it with my own eye and on the clock, etc., etc. 5-2 or that sort of price is very fair. And that's my second best bet, Jack.
Yeah, no, very good. I mean, I think these boys, they're not often asked about the old supplementary fees. They're not short of a few shekels, so they're not always proactive with their entries, but totally get the angle. And obviously, you got coming up against the Britannia form, 5th column and Rafed. I think the fresher angle certainly one we like. So totally get the case there. Lee Bedouin Prince for the boys in blue, continuing his theme. John Lang, I'm going to come to you. And you claim that you're keeping us honest with TV racing, or at least, normal tracks, but I'm just waiting for the Roscommon curveball. Is it coming?
No, it's not. I'm actually going to the July Cup next. Yeah, and I'm sticking with this rather sorry theme about keeping Charlie Appleby away from radiators. And I'm going with notable speech.
Oh.
Oh!
We'll talk about that later, John, but you make your case.
Yeah.
You might persuade me by then.
Well, I think this is a class horse dropping in trip, and I think our sprinters in the main are shite. And I think he'll travel okay, and he'll be too strong for him coming out the dip. He's run okay this year when the yard hasn't been in the best of form. We know they're in the best of form now, and I just think this wins, really. I just don't particularly like anything.
Certainly the class horse in the race, and by the time Lee's 2 and his next one have won, it might go off 6-4. So you're probably on the right side of a price at this rate. But yes, interesting. There'll be some talking points there. I shall kick us on because I'm going against you in the 3:45. I'm feeling very polarising with you today. I mean, you've called everything else in the field a cunt at York on Saturday, that is, and I'm picking one of said cunts. Subsequent for me for the Can Do No Wrong Balding team, and I don't think this horse has done very, very much wrong at all, in all honesty. I think progressive 3-year-old last year, I think we certainly liked it. I think we put it out on one of our amazing services at some point. I think possibly
it failed to turn up for the Melrose when we thought it should.
Well, didn't it win on Melrose Day, and we were all roaring from the box whilst we?
Yeah, but that wasn't the point, was it? He blindsided us a bit, and we don't like to be blindsided by these cheeky bastards.
No, we certainly don't. But he did get the job done, and then did very little wrong since going down a short head at Donny and finishing his season off with a win at Ascot. Seems pretty ground versatile. Looking at Balding's record off a layoff with these types over sort of mile plus in the sort of pattern races, he's 1.71. Actual over expected. He can get them ready off a layoff, and I just thought this was the sort of horse that would make up into a nice 4-year-old. And whilst I completely agree that Al Karim is the standard bearer, and wouldn't surprise me at all if he went in, he is sort of prone to one just saying, "Come on, I'm gonna give you a race for once in my life." And I think this is a rare stayer that's staying on these shores that might be on the up. So I'm willing to chance it at around the sort of 5-1 mark as things stand. I don't think much of Table Talk. I know he won the Melrose last year, but hasn't really kicked on this season yet. I think this would be the better of the two. And happy to take on Al Karim, but you know what? I think the top two there are pretty clear. So you can choose how you like and stick him in a reverse forecast Nick Davis style if you like. But I will be going with Subsequent. And let's hope he's not a cunt as John predicts. But we shall see. Right, Quentin Franks, your second best, please.
Second best bet, Jack, is Notable Speech in the July Cup.
Oh, we're going to have a discussion on this in a bit.
Dev Ender back to do asthmatic
Similar reasons to John, to be honest. The sprinting division's poor, but you kind of look at Notable Speech's stride data, cadence like a sprinter, high turnover. He's moved through the Newbury race like the run was needed, blowing, I think it was less than 11 second sectional win there. Ascot failed to settle off a really steady fracture. I think this is a sprinter here, to be honest. You look at the level of form. I'm surprised they've not tried him there as of yet. He's the one horse in the field that you can see being backed off the boards. I can see them really getting into this, knocking it off 15-8, 7-4, something like that on the off. Yeah, you're going to get a pace. He's got what's the Carlberg Night Raider drawn his side, pace to aim at. Will be staying on strongly late off a strong fractions, 2 points win.
Strong from John and Quentin, and agree on that from a price perspective. You probably want to back that now if you can, if you like it, because a predicted good couple of days for those boys, that will go off very short indeed. So yeah, interesting. We'll come on to that one in a bit, but now for the
winner of the Maiden.
Yeah, exactly. 15th from 14 races. That'll be them. We'll come on to the 3-point round, the old lucky 15 special. We're going to get one up one of these days. Could we do it on Super Saturday or potentially Friday before? I shall kick us off because I have a feeling that I might not be the last person to mention this horse. I'm keeping it very simple this week, hence is my form. We're going in the 3:10, John's favourite, the Magnet Cup. And of course, we're going for the Fav Archivist. Now, this is a good horse, as Mr. Lee Keys would say. We look.
Very
It is.
good
We like it a lot.
horse.
To do what he did over the mile last time out was a sign of how good this horse is. You know, he's so ready for 10 furlongs, and I think has been for 3-4 months. Very, very odd campaigning of this horse. I do praise the shirt a lot. Not when he pulls out my anti-post runners, but generally. I missed the London Gold Cup, dicked about, didn't get into Ascot, had to run here to get into this. He snuck in here due to a bit of cheeky moving around, but he's just far, far better than his marker 95. I mean, he's £2 well in officially. That is probably subjected with Adam Farragher chucking a £10 penalty on at the same time. But when I saw the draw of 6 come up, you know, I couldn't have this beat. This isn't a good race. I think the Varian horse Defiance worried me at sort of anti-post stage. He's not been declared. Bunch of old duffers in this. You know, there's only one other 3-year-old who isn't good enough, Mirabeau. When you get 3-year-olds in here, they tend to do the business, and this is a very good one indeed. This will be 105, maybe even bordering on 110 by the end of the year. So 7-2 as things stand. I mean, look, I might be wrong, but I'd have this sub 2-1, and I think it might even go off that on the day. So get stuck in. Adam Farragher will probably lose us a nose, but you know we'll have fun until then. So Archivist for me, a very, very strong bet in the old Magnet Cup. Right, who's going to follow? I'm going to go to John Lang. Who have you got for us for your best bet?
I was going to put Archivist in, but I thought, no, I'll leave the flag.
Some other cunt like me
I
will do. So
I'll leave
you're
the
right.
flag near Grower Jack to bag the glory of knocking the big winner of the day.
Well, look, I've got a Shirtles to turn up, but as we know, chaps, from last year in the City of York, they don't always go in the stalls for me. So
the year it turns round, they not only turn up, they actually win. You know,
it'd be nice.
this could be it. I mean, it was terrible last year for you, mate. I mean, I felt for you. It was like a gay bloke turning up at the Minogues on Bath night, wasn't it?
That's very good. It does feel that way at the minute. I'm not going to lie.
222, all the twos, 3 little ducks, whatever you want to call it. It's Ascot on Saturday. The Wolferton was an awful race for me at Ascot, but the winner did it well, really. Hatem, it was solid, and for me, he's still a better option at this trip than the 10 furlongs of the Wolferton. So I took a lot of encouragement from that. The main market rival that's not coming out of handicaps, Quoudwar or whatever the fuck they call it, that ran a stinker last time in the Queen Anne. The other two that they're classing as dangers, Never So Brave and My Cloud, this couldn't be any more of a different test, really. They've had, like, Ment Larry on the front end, big field, fucking straight course, balaclava jobs, haven't they, last time?
Yeah.
And now they've got round course, fiddly, watch what you're doing stuff. For me, Hatem's got an awful lot going for him here. Certainly a lot more than 11-4. He's my 3 points.
That very nearly made my 3, John, so I'm glad to hear a bit of support there. I think he's the solid option in a kind of, as you say, Never So Brave, My Cloud. They're going to have a bit of an awakening, I think, in this particular race. So, yeah, solid from John, sticking to the Wolferton winner with Hatem. Quentin, what is your 3-pointer for us? He's done it. He's done it.
Love it.
My 3-point bet is Archivist as well, Jack. Same reasons as you. He's a horse crying out for 10 furlongs. We thought he was a group horse in a handicap if he went to Ascot. Didn't get in. Leicester form looked solid with the Beckett horse clocking a good time last night at somewhere, Chepstow or Fossler, somewhere in Wales. He was on the front end last time out and that suited him. He beat a moderate bunch, but he did so well. Strong for the line. I just think he's a group horse in handicap, and you're getting 100 to 30 against more exposed types. 3 points win.
Rock solid. I'm surprised he's opened up that big. I don't think we'll be seeing that on Saturday, if I'm being frank. But if we do, I'll probably empty the balance and see what happens. So good stuff. Lee Keys, finish us off, please, in your third best, or sorry, your best bet of the round.
This for me is Mustardo. I'm going against Quentin here tomorrow in the 150 at Newmarket with King's
We always find a
Charter.
clash, don't we? Despite about 89 races going on.
Yeah, John's highlighted the runner-up High Degree of Haggard. And he said if Haggard gets this to win over a mile, he's a fucking genius, and so on and so on. He did so last night at Foss Lass. Mud Beer was fifth. That's come out and done a very nice job since in that Maiden and won a handicap off 89. Well, this is off 92. And this also needs further. An horse going up in trip that actually needs the 10 from a very, very well-related family. Off 92. If this is 11 to 4, you need to smash the back doors off King's Charter because, to me, this is absolutely ridiculous. How the fucking hell is this 11 to 4? Everything about it screams stakes horse to me at the moment over 10. So, again, off 92, I just think this is an absolute shoo-in. But King's Charter is a strong bet for me, Jack.
To complete the boys in blue round for Lee, it's King's Charter, very strong
Absolutely.
case Maiden. You know, look, we've got to give something to our loyal, long-term supporters. They're angling for these Friday shows to come back. This is as good as, so you enjoy that one. Now, I was going to ask a quick quiz question just before we go on. I think I put in our chat earlier. So this weekend, I think it'd be 2 years ago, us four all put up something in the summer mile that John has tipped in. Who can remember what it was? Quiz, little clue, it got beat and we all looked like idiots, as we often do. We were ultra strong. There was a couple of 3-pointers, a couple of 2s.
You're missing a fucking trick here. You need to ask John what won 1978.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he'd know that.
He's like an elephant when it comes to that. But then if you ask him what won last year, 2 years,
Shirley Hates beat away in sound and remained a man was third.
But you got that right, and Quentin's also chimed in with it as well. Al Dari for the shirt. We somehow got that beat. Did it go off now? Went off a stupid price.
Went up levels, didn't it? Something like that. They fucking backed it off the board.
11 to 10. I think we tipped it up at 3s or something, and we
get everything beat. Like beating the price, beat the price, beat the price, beat the price, beat the price, and beat. And that's it.
Yeah,
that's how we go.
Little quiz question there for our loyal supporters. I'm sure you remember that one fondly. Right, well, we must crack on. We've got 6 TV races to look at tomorrow before the 97 on Saturday. So the 150 at Newmarket to kick things off. We've had cases made by both Quentin and Lee here, strong ones at that. John, what are your thoughts? Any polarising views, or are you rowing in with these two boys?
I thought it might be a little bit messy. One I thought would run well would be the Shirt horse that's been running around some horrible tracks and would benefit from our galloping setup here.
Yeah.
But I'm perfectly happy to rock along with Lee's opinion, to be honest.
Agreed. I think top 2 in the market are probably standouts here off their mark. So probably not too much to add in that race, which is music to the ears of many, I'm sure. Particularly the producer. We'll stick to Newmarket. We'll go to the 225, the Duchess of Cambridge. Again, looks a bit of a boring race. Venetian Sun, obviously very good winner of the Albany. Personally didn't see much reason, if any, to take her on. Did anyone else?
Certainly not. Carl Burt spoke very positively about her, and I've been glad to agree with her.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised she rocks up here and not sort of freshed up for the Lowther, which I know he obviously loves that race and that meeting, but strike while the iron's hot. You've got to beat one of Happy Tim's, so it's not really the strongest heat, is it? Quentin, Lee, any views?
Not really. They found the right price. 4 to 7 would probably be about right on how I've priced it, so that's where the interest ended.
Quentin?
Yeah, totally agree with that, to be honest. If people are looking for a bet, maybe Shine On Me to finish in the top 2, 5 to 2-ish. Felt she was poorly placed at Lingfield on debut, went away from the favoured standside rail, doing all her best work late doors in the, Queen Mary, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think she's got more potential and scope than the second in the Tim horse. Yeah, fucking hell, the Tim horse.
Yeah, no, I think we've seen the best of that Happy Tim horse, in fairness. So no, it looks a pretty straightforward affair, and as does the 3 o'clock, according to Lee Keys, with his endless victory shout. I didn't see much reason to oppose that. Doesn't look a strong bunch, does it? We speak endlessly about the decline of these middle distance horses, particularly in the older races, but you know, what's he got to beat here? Can anyone offer up some sort of alternative? Don't all rush. Yeah.
Tumbleweed there.
Simple as that, then, by the sound of things. You've got 98-year-old Joe Fanning on the line, the Stars. That looks dead, doesn't it? I think Story Horse has run well, certainly on the Rowley Mile, but you just look at the disparity in ratings here. You've got top weight Endless Victory off 103, probably the class group horse, and then what else is there? A bunch of horses in the 80s. I mean, it's just a poor old showing, isn't it, at the moment? I think that sums it up. We won't give the race coverage that it doesn't deserve. We'll just be rowing in with Lee. But we will give a little bit more. No one's mentioned the Falmouth, which is, of course, tomorrow's Group 1. Now, it is Fillies, so I know John will have a lovely opinion on this race. I'm going to come to him first. Bit of a move on January today for the O'Brien outfit. Is that who we're with, or are we going to oppose with something else?
I think if I was to have a bet in this, I would back Cinderella's Dream, because she acquitted well at Ascot when the yard was in hopeless form. She runs well, and I just think she can flip the farm around with Crimson Advocate, who loved every aspect of Ascot last time, and will find things completely different here.
It's one of those, isn't it? Like Cinderella Dream goes in at 5-2, and you think, oh, you know, that looked simple. But personally, I felt she should have really been getting the job done at Ascot. I know his weren't in excellent nick, but kind of race was there for the taking. I find the mile might be a kind of minimum for her. You know, I think she's sort of 9-10 furlong filly, in my opinion. Only sort of 3-year-old at the top of the market in the form of January, ran pretty well in the Coronation. Hard one to sum up. Wouldn't be a betting race. Lee, Quentin, any views from your side?
I'm not really a fan of the 3-year-olds like this year, barring Field of Gold. I just can't really have a bar of any of the 3-year-old other than Field of Gold right now, in terms of like Group 1s, etc., etc. So I sort of like lean to John's assessment when coming back to Cinderella's Dream, but I'd be looking to take on the 3-year-olds. But then again, I know it sounds like I've just made a case and then I'm going against it. Aidan O'Brien, I'm a big, massive fan of his training of fillies.
Yeah.
I think he's a better trainer of filly than his colts.
Yeah,
I've always thought that. The way you can get them to keep running and running and running and running in top class Group 1s like they have done over time, that in itself it's some going. So I respect the cash for January, because that's the one thing that puts me off probably back in Cinderella's Dream, the fact that there's a strong market move for January, but that's my only opinion.
I'd agree with that. I think the shows market will be interesting because, you know, as we know with both of those outfits, if they're well fancied, they don't often get it wrong. So we'll see how things play out. Quentin, any views your side?
Yeah, I was in your camp, Jack. Cinderella's Dream, I kind of think is a 9-10 furlong horse. You've got no pace on the cards here, but I want to take her on. But what are you taking her on with?
Yeah,
like January is the interesting one. You'd like to think they may be, obviously Ryan Moore's aware of tactics, etc., etc.
Well, he wasn't today, was he?
No, he weren't today. You'd like to hope he pops her slightly handier. She looks the type to keep on improving. It's not a race I'm going to have a bet in, and so I'll leave it at that. But Cinderella's Dream, I thought was the weak one at the top of the market.
It's a funny old Group 1, isn't it? I think you'd make a case for saying possibly one of the weakest of the lot, really. No strong betting opinions, but I think the shows market will be interesting. That rounds off Newmarket tomorrow. We'll go back to our beloved York, where we've got 2 races, starting off with the 2:10, 7 furlongs, 0-95. This doesn't really need to be on telly, does it? But has anyone got any sort of view in here? I can't say I have. I'm bored of seeing all of these horses, if I'm being frank.
I didn't think Sword had some improvement in him still. Consistent. Trainer's got a good record in these York handicaps and a good draw in the middle. I thought that would give people runs of the money.
Funny horse that, isn't it? Because I remember it sort of struggling to win a maiden for, was it Gosden, about sort of 8 goes in and just looked a bit of a cunt, but old Misery Guts has seemed to have rejuvenated it a little bit over sort of shorter trips. So no, I think at a bit of a
He cheers them up. They have such a laugh down there with him.
I mean, I've met him a couple of times, and it felt like topping myself, to be
Tell
honest. He was that depressing.
them your stories and that, and cheers them up.
Head on the ground. I mean, I know I'm not much of a looker, but fuck me, I've had more FaceTime off, better looking people than him. But yeah, sword for John. Lee, Quentin, any views here?
Just sentimental, not betting. It's certainly not a race I'm getting involved in, but the Streets of Gold obviously landed a touch 2-year-old, I believe, at
with
this course.
It was one of the nursery.
Yeah, it's nice to see that they've got him sort of back a little bit. And again, Camachos, Steve Brown, etc. I'd like to see them win that with that.
They're in decent nick at the minute as well, and do very well with these sort of cheaper pickups that sort of casts off that look like they're finished, but kind of find a bit for them. So no, I think that's a fair shout. Lee, Quentin, any views from yourself before we move on?
Had doubts about Dubai Treasure translating the all-weather form back onto turf. I was with Lee and Streets of Gold. Thought it made a nice bold move from off of the pace at Newcastle. Blew up fitness-wise. Looked like it will come on for the run. Back at York, I thought 6-1 was more than fair.
They often need a run, don't they, the Camacho lot? So that's a fair shout indeed. We shall move on to the only other York race, which is the Summer Stakes, which I have tipped in, the 245. Any views here? John, this isn't your sort of race, so it could be a Nick Davis no on the cards from you, I think.
Just to be awkward, I'll just chuck one in then.
Go on. Well, that's what we're here for.
I did hear a little while back that this had been Celandine's target since she was slow to come to hand missing the start of the season, and that everything's gone well coming up to this. The yard's in rather good form, and the draw's pretty nifty. She ought to run well, but I certainly won't be having a bet.
Flashbacks to myself and Lee having match bets in the Lowther last year, and that fucking chinning the pair of us. That wasn't good fun. Are you sticking with Celandine, Lee, or are you rowing in with me in the Dickie Hughes outfit?
Yeah, remember the Simpsons gif where Homer goes back into the privet? Yeah.
That's you for this one. Yeah, probably. I mean, with so much on elsewhere, that's probably not the worst shout. In fairness, Quentin,
Nick Davis, no, I'm afraid. As you've just nailed on the head. There's so much racing, so much to get through. It wasn't a race that appealed as a betting medium for me.
Yeah, no, fair enough. John, I'm surprised Arabian Dust didn't cop a mention. I mean, I'm just pleased to see that still alive. I'm sure you're the same.
I'd rather eat me on Cochran back one of theirs.
Right, well, on to Saturday, 98 races to cover, so we'll kick things off at Ascot, where we've just got the 2 from the Summer Mile Stakes. John's obviously put up Hartem. I'd wholeheartedly agree with that. I think he's the solid selection in the race, and I'm surprised he's not favourite at the moment, given Never So Brave has done it in sort of handicap company, is stepping up. Coudoir, as John mentioned, pretty deplorable effort last time out. Hartem would be the one for me, but yeah, Quentin, Lee, any views in this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Hartem all the way. This is a fucking military grade bastard. If you get conscripted ever and you think, I need to take one of these fuckers, fucking front up, got to sit on it, and this is the one you'd take. It's so tough. What a tough horse. If you had 10 of them in barn, what a dream it'd be. Hartem keeps defying opinion. I've had opinions on him, and I've had to reverse opinions and then put them back in garage and then bring them back out again. And this lad he's as tough as teak. And that's the one you want in a race like this. And I totally agree with John. Hartem all the way for me.
Yeah, double-hard bastard, isn't he? And I quite like the Phoenix of Spain progeny from the kind of small amount we've seen on the whole. They seem quite genuine. So no, I'd certainly be with him. Quentin, you rowing in with us here?
No, fuck you. Prague for me. Thought he shaped well at York on the comeback. Wind form that day was playing on the front end, making late inroads. Looked like the run was needed. Hartem is the solid one. There's no doubt about that. I thought Never So Brave's a ranked bad favourite. I thought Coudoir So it was lifeless at Royal Ascot after having the run of the race. I thought Prague was more of a 9-2 shot. Yards in form, the old Silver Guns. And I'm expecting him to go well here.
Fall on me taking on the Biltong boys after their monumentous double yesterday at Yarmouth. That was a nice little plot. That everyone's at the hit sales, knock a couple in at Yarmouth, Barney Curley-esque sort of stuff. So, yeah, Prague for the Biltong boys.
Jack, give me a small requisite, really, like sermons. Can you give me a Dylan conversation between you and him? Jack,
probably get myself in trouble here, but oh well, we've come this far. I mean, Jake, you stupid fuck. What are you telling me about my horse trying to put him in this particular race, you idiot? I've trained Group 1s on the Western Cape. What the fuck have you ever done? and right he is. What the fuck have I ever done?
Fucking nailed it.
No,
brilliant.
I'm here all week for the impressions. It's one of the few things I'm actually decent at in life.
Dylan, come on the show, you fucking loser. Let's have you on the sermon.
Get on. He'd be great value at that, and a good trainer he is, I must say. So no, Prague with a fair shout there for Mr. Franks, and then coming on to the 450, just to mark off the 90 million races on Saturday, 5 furlong handicap. I mean, fuck me, this is desperate punting stuff. I'll be in bed or have about 6 bottles of Moët by this point, probably the former. Anyone got any sort of view here?
Wolverhampton. I thought shaped a lot better than the result at Newcastle last time out. Door absolutely slammed in her face. Thought she probably would have won with a clear run. Millman's in fair form, decent course record. I thought double figures was sporting.
Willie Hampton for the Millman team from Quentin. John Lee, any thoughts here at all?
If I ever catch myself betting on one of these, I'll remove me on spleen.
Yeah, I'm in that sort of camp.
I thought it was interesting that the wind picks up throughout the afternoon.
Wind form.
It is. It's behind them. So I'm just wondering here, which is unusual for Ascot, because obviously our most common winds are southwest, west, southwest, or northwest, etc., etc. So I'm just thinking, with the pieces for the first time, Tom Ward's Would He Wonder, stall 13, gets out there and comes back to form. Everyone rides Ascot a little bit patiently, don't they? Usually it's like, you don't want to make all at Ascot.
So he could be out and gone.
He could be.
Yeah, this could be out and away and back to form. And I just thought double figures, that'd be worth
could be a bit reticent to that, though.
Could be. I know Tom's assistant Sam quite well, so I shall be passing on the win form message, and could land us a nice touch to get us out of jail at the end of a very, very long day. Right, that's enough of Ascot. We'll go to York for there's a lot of John Smith's, the old Ale boys are doing quite a bit of sponsorship here, aren't they? Because I kept trying to look for the Magnet Cup and I saw about 17 other John Smith handicaps, but this is one of them. The mile race 0 to 105, and we've got Remuse in as your favourite, who was pretty fair order in the Jersey, wasn't he? I think he's quite a popular horse in these parishes. So is anyone with him on Saturday, or are you with Old Cock for a bit of Old Cock for the Bethel?
Yeah, we love Old Cock.
You
can't. I
don't know how, because I know you tried to do your Cleveland Steamer thing with the BHA, Lee. How do you get away with Old Cock, eh?
I know. I beat them with Milwaukee Blizzard.
Yeah, that was
for this filly I own. You can go on the old Urban Dictionary and do that Milwaukee Blizzard. Under the BHA guidelines, they say, why are you calling it Milwaukee Blizzard? And I said, well, there was a blizzard in Milwaukee in 1951. I had grandparents there that went through it. That was my official reasoning.
Well, and that passed, did it? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Shame.
100%. She finished third at Catterick and never ran again.
What could have been, eh? What could have been. But anyway, back to the business. I mean, are we rolling in with Remuse? I mean, I know we like the 3-year-old angle at this time of year, and it is the only in the pack. So 3 to 1 available looks kind of fair for me for the returning Kevin Stott.
That's quite light blue for you. I thought it was well drawn, ran well last time, likes his hair. And there could be a pace goal on up front, which would really suit the horse.
You've probably got Flight Plan will go forward and Sisyphean, I think, as well. So that makes sense. I feel like we'll be sitting on these pods in 10 years saying in a York handicap, yeah, I think Blue for You's off a nice mark this day. I think he'll go close. He's ever present, isn't he?
Well, he's won this the last twice, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I thought the one to be with was La Trinidad. Won this back in 2021.
He did.
Upgrading the saddle. Mason on not Scott. Stott. Who's off it? So they've dropped someone off it. Scott. Yeah, Rowan Scott.
Rowan Scott. Anything's
Rowan
an upgrade
Scott's
from
been
Rowan
dropped
Scott,
off.
really, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Poorly placed at Ascot last time out and more towards the centre of the track. Shaped as in really good form when third here behind Old Cock. I thought 8-1 was more than fair.
Yep, after that wins, it's a bath for Joe Mason.
Exactly. A Brucey bonus for everyone.
Can I just say, Jack, if I'm still on one of these pods in 10 years, it'll be in the form of a head in a jar.
I think we'd do well to be here in 10 years in our form. I think our 2 listeners would probably become 0, but we'll plough on. Could be the weekend. The City Walls Stakes 235, often some kind of nod towards the unthought, but I don't think any of these will be troubling the frame in that race. But yeah, any views here? The old Washington Heights, pretty sturdy horse at the top of the market. I thought Grand Grey might come back to form myself after a pretty lackluster effort last time out. You got a couple stepping up from handicap ranks in the sort of JM Jung persuasion, but yeah, open sort of heat. Any particular views in the City Walls?
Blueberry smoothie with stacks of Kraken cherry and vanilla rum.
Yeah, nice little mid-afternoon aperitif, isn't it, at that sort of time?
Genuinely, this nearly made the list. Washington Heights.
Yeah, you love this horse, don't you?
Well, yeah,
it's a good horse.
Of course, and you're going to do on this track.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. This is a horse that, and I think this is like the easiest task he's had for a long time. James Jungle's gone up in weight, racing now in listed company. Grand Grey is a credible opponent, but come on, man. This guy has been blasting it the best of the best. Group 1 last time, beaten 2 1/4 lengths in a King's Stand. 1 length behind Magira in a Group 2. 4 lengths behind Rumstar. Well, what price is Rumstar in this? It'd be like 1 to 3. Washington Heights, 11 to 4. Come on, man. Let's have some.
I think on a front end favouring track as things stand, that's probably the bet, really, isn't it?
Well, he's got to cash in before they get in Tinzo back down to this sort of trip, isn't he? Because then he'll be winning everything.
Yeah, apparently so. Quentin?
I'm all over Washington Heights. It's the class drop of all class drops. Like, this is piss poor. You look at it's come 6th in a Nunthorpe, 4th in a Clipper. Like, he's just strong York form. He's just better than these, and he's priced like he's not better than these. I just think he takes care of these double Andy, to be honest. 5 to 2, 11 to 4's more than fair.
Could be a nice mid-afternoon warmer for those that have done their bollocks in the first couple, which will probably be us.
As will the smoothie.
As will the smoothie, yeah. Perfect accompaniment, John, agreed. Right, on to the old Magnet Cup then. So we've, myself and Quentin have nailed our colours to the mast with Archivist. Is anyone going to tell me anything I don't know other than Adam Farah has a bag of shite?
I've had 5 monkeys Archivist yesterday. I'm pleased with the draw. I think it'll go off 2 to 1 on the day because I genuinely don't think it's not a vintage Magnet Cup by any stretch of the imagination. Because this horse goes prominent, I've not got as much worries about the jockey as what you have, Jack. I agree with you.
Say that now, Lee.
But I know. Let's discuss this after. But it's a simple ride. It goes forward, and it doesn't need to sit halfway down the pack. It can sit second or third. That draw's lovely. It can just come out the trap, track the pace. This horse really should go off about 2 to 1 to 7 to 4 because on the numbers I have, I'm pretty certain he's 105 to 108 off 95. 3-year-olds never get in this. They just
Well, that's
don't
it.
get in this.
I was going to make the point that you'll have the trend boys, Andrew Mount, who I like actually, and if you're listening, Andrew, I'm not having a slight on you here, but just your general profession. They'll be like, oh, no 3-year-old winner of the Magnet Cup in the last 47 renewals. Well, they never fucking get in it, and they do now because we don't have any horses. So don't worry about it. The weight pool is a good one, and this is a very good horse, as we say.
It's a lot better than 95. I'm pretty certain. If I'm wrong,
Yeah.
I'm wrong, but I'm pegging it round about 105 to 108.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion, and I'll stand by it. And 72 is massive. It's a similar chance to Medician that I managed to get beat in the same race. But then again, that was drawn terrible, and that went off 74. Under the same colours.
22 he was drawn.
Oh.
We're going back some now. Medician was in the same ownership, and Stout got it beat. 74 Fav was the, I think,
just about a year later he won the Eclipse.
Yeah, well, sums up us, doesn't it? John, you did some draw analysis on this, and you were rightly saying that you sort of double figures plus are pretty unfavoured.
The winner, well, they actually hit the frame about half as often as they ought to if it was all even.
Yeah.
They don't win as often as they should by any stretch. There's just plenty of reasons to oppose double figure draws, really.
I agree. Quentin, obviously you're happy with Archivist. Any dangers, do you think, from your side?
No, just wins. Sorry, I was looking at last 3
I love that.
Last 3-year-old to win it was Wigmore Hall, which went and won group races afterwards, albeit in Canada. I just think he's too well handicapped for this lot. I've got ground questions about a few. See that Storm, it's like he is what he is. So I just think it wins. Just wins. Have more on. There we go.
The shirt, not that you listen, but you're a very, very lucky man that you've managed to get yourself in this race, to the detriment of British horse racing that you've ended up here, because I think you've campaigned this horse absolutely horrendously. But I will forgive all if you go and win this race. So that's just my little parting message to the shirt. Me and him have had some good battles over the last year. He's won most of them. Let's hope we can both win this one on Saturday.
Wait till he listens and then pulls it out just to spite you.
Yeah, probably wouldn't he, to be fair? Sounds like my story of my life, so I wouldn't blame him. Right, we'll go on to Newmarket, where it looks like they're displaying pretty much the whole card. We've got a fucking Maiden's Fillies race to kick things off. I don't suppose there's any sort of view in here. I haven't really got one. Quentin, you're probably the only person I think could pluck anything out here. I mean, I think we've had 3 in the field runs so far. Are we doing any business here?
Nothing at all. I thought Fan Me was well named. Being given the side as too darn hot. That's about as far as I got in the race, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like the old purple rainbow with the daft that made the highlights, didn't it? I saw last week. That was good stuff.
Let's not go there again.
No. We've covered that one to death. We'll go to the 212, which is another Fillies handicap. I mean, Ladies' Day was today. I think they should chuck all these races on this day, really, when no one gives a fuck. But here we are.
You chuck them all in a fucking skip.
Yeah. Miss Nightfall seems to be the gamble for the Bones and Safi Osborne duo. Yeah, I'm not.
No, she's a good thing, isn't she? Yeah, she was just over sad in was it the Sandringham?
Sandringham, yeah.
That race where you need to be a fucking genius to find winner.
And I think we know a genius, don't we? Saved my day. That I was on the floor after the Zaragana incident, but you cheered me up a bit there, which was good.
She reads like a good thing there, I think, but it's a fucking filly, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. Lee, Quentin, any
pace the race concerned me of Miss Nightfall. No doubt the best handicapped horse in the field, but I just got a nagging doubt that Safi's gonna hang.
She will. You can guarantee she will.
Yeah, exactly. Something's going to be hanging out the back of the field, and you can kind of half see them getting away from her. Misinformation's tactically versatile. Wins on the Rolly Mile as well.
Could have done with this racing league, really, with a couple of no-hopers rattling off early, and then she'd have fucking pissed up.
Yeah, that's coming up soon, to be honest.
That's it. She only comes alive on Racing League. It's amazing, isn't it? All season, like you cursing her, it's like, oh, fucking hell, another Sappy Osborne. Right.
She's on
Then
slab.
Racing
She's
League.
for a fucking autopsy, isn't she? That's the town.
Teeth fucking stops them for 18 months to get a few ready for that. It's mental. Is that even on this year? I've not even heard anything about it. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it?
Oh, it's on. Oh,
Oh.
it's fucking on.
I must have been blocked
yeah.
by everyone that
it's on.
mentions it, which is probably
Yeah.
true.
But for reasons mentioned, Miss Nightfall is exactly that. This is the best filly in the race and will win if it gets the breaks, the pace, as everything that's been mentioned. You pay as your money, you take your chance. 9-4. Do you want it off a crawl?
No.
Not really. But then if they go quick, do you want it? Yes. Like Brains Out Ryan Moore today, they've seemed to ride it quick. That's where we're at.
No, could be one for your in running, boys and gals, if you're that arsed at that time of day. But no, we shall see on that one. Moving on to more pressing matters, a Nick Davis special here, but I think even he'd struggled to come up with an opposer to More Thunder in the Bunbury Cup. What price is this going to go off, chaps?
4-9. What we should be discussing, and we'll do it on Sunday as well, but 13 runners
Shocking.
for a Bunbury Cup. I've gone through back records and I haven't seen a field as small as this for a Bunbury Cup. It's incredible. And we're seeing many £100,000 races. When they say about prize money, that's bollocks. It's the horse stock that we've got in this country that we haven't sold abroad that's any good. That's why More Thunder. You've never seen a 7-4 favourite or a Bunbury Cup, John. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I'm still tossing it around in my head whether this is named after the infamous Lord Bunbury of the 1700s or the cartoon rabbit cricket team that featured heavily in the late 1980s on TV.
Seems more like the latter, I think, this field, doesn't it?
Yeah, Bunbury Tales, they call it, didn't they?
I think you're right.
Lovely thing.
I'm going to Chris Paul here. I've got a nice slip on the fav after Ascot when he sort of...
Come on, Jack, you fucker. You've took 14s, haven't you?
I had
You've
the
had
smart
14.
Alex sitting here at 6 o'clock on a Thursday.
You vile creature. You're hosting this show and you're sat on a 14s.
Gets Chindley.
14.
Lord Malvale will back it and that'll be the end of it.
It will. That puts 10 on it. I do agree.
The value has been secured, but John makes a good point. This will be dropped out the back. I know today was a bit weird, but you know what comes last to first at the July shit pit normally.
And the point is as well, he doesn't have to drop it out.
No, but he will.
It will easily be able to travel late mid-trail, wouldn't it? But he will drop it fucking last because they're arseholes.
Yep.
They are absolute arseholes.
Best horse in the race, Country Mile, but
they cause more fucking trouble by being on these horses and trying to think of tactics and shit than if we had a batch of trained monkeys that you could just strap on.
No.
It's the future of British racing, this, isn't it?
It's not the kind of 6-4, 7-4 shot that I'd want to be rowing into on the day, but hey, I don't have to worry about it.
Without a monkey strapped on it anyway.
No, absolutely, John. No, we'll get Nick Davis's right up on that, but I think he'll be in a similar camp, but he might have a funky forecast for you to chuck something in with that, I'd imagine. We'll await that with great enthusiasm. The 325, 7, as Lee said, turning up in the 3-year-old 1 mile handicap. As I tweeted out yesterday, Delia Smith, where are you? Where are you, 3-year-olds? There aren't any. There aren't any.
Would you still shag, Delia?
Probably if push came to shove, yeah.
You 100% would, because you'd fucking...
I'd bang Mary Berry, mate.
I know. A Mary Berry or a Delia Breakfast.
Both.
It's, like, you'd judge them, wouldn't you? You'd say, you do one, and then you do one. I'll judge who's better. And then one who's worse can fuck off. That's you.
That makes a good telly, that.
It would.
I think it would. So what you're saying to Marbet here, folks, you've said nothing on my
Couldn't
race.
knock it, and I'm kind of... I know a couple have come out of Ascot today, and Scandinavia's obviously run well, but I'm kind of in that against... that was quick ground, big times were put up, and I know we've done some work on kind of quickish backups after big times being put up on the clock, and I'm kind of anti that. I can understand if John's up for Rafed, given drawn wrong side, probably didn't feature whatsoever there, so I can see that angle. But yours has been kept freshly and looks the potential class animal in the race. In fairness, John Rafed, you because he's one of your 5 to follow, isn't he?
He is, I'm afraid. Yes, I'm gonna have to be following him.
I mean, he's still one of mine's fucking running over hurdles in like County Pikerari at this point. So you're doing better than me.
Yeah, but I mean, he needs to win a few of these, doesn't he? I mean, that was a bit disappointing. I thought at Ascot.
Yeah, but draw dictated,
underwhelmed,
didn't it?
to use a phrase that we seem to be using a lot at the minute.
I think draw dictated, did it not? Everything was high drawn in that particular race.
It wasn't ideal, but I just like to see him show a bit more vajazzle.
Vajazzle. What's a vajazzle, Jim?
It's a diamante one.
I don't know what a vajazzle is. Is that something you put on your fanny?
You see up in diamante, don't you? So it's supposed to feel like a ribbed condom when you're going in.
They say.
Here we go.
Turning into an impromptu sermon, this, isn't it?
Quentin, what are you saying on this one?
The race.
What, the vajazzle or the 325 at Newmarket?
The race.
Yeah, vajazzle and the race. What?
You can't beat a good vajazzling, can you? 325 Newmarket. I was against you, Lee. You said I thought he had all the advantages. Stand side rail, wind blowing them home. They'd given him 97 initially. They put him up £3 for collateral form. He's just beat staying types, hasn't he? Essentially, he's done it well. He was impressive visually. I thought Rafed shaped absolutely fine in the Britannia, troubling running on several occasions. He travelled a dream in the race, slightly more towards the centre of the track than ideal. I think he's a lot better than a 92 rated horse. And as you said, you pointed out that it is slightly concerning that they've not given Bedouin Prince any flashy entries or why they hadn't even thought about the Britannia for him. So
you awful man for opposing me there. With a great case.
A great case indeed. Yeah. We're rowing in with Lees on the whole, I think, because we want a few good ones from Oliver Reed. I think that'll be what we want. 4 o'clock, I think that is a prop. So I'll disclose, and I think this is a bit of advice for listeners. This Italy, I've backed it for the Guineas, and I think this could be a very good horse. Look at the way he won his debut, where he beats the Stack horse, who ran very well in the Chesham. Just got on top late. Was obviously very well fancied market-wise, but didn't look in fantastic nick for it, and I think will come on leaps and bundles. The fact that he comes here, Brian doesn't frequent this meeting very frequently, but the last horse he ran in this race was, of course, City of Troy, who we all loved. And I'm not saying he's as good as him, but I think this could be a very good horse indeed. Does anyone want to take him on?
It looks like you cunts have backed all European capitals so it fucking or European countries so it fucking
we have
and
Brussels, we seem to have forgotten that O'Brien doesn't give a fuck about the Guineas anymore. I think, but
I agree with you, Jack. This is a good horse.
If you want to get yourself out of jail, have $5,000 to win fucking 3 on this, and you'll be fine. I think that's financial advice from us all.
Totally agree. I'd be a backer at Ford.
Well, that'll knock the piss out of them, won't it?
Should do. I mean, I thought Brussels would today, but it depends if 45 mile per hour Ryan Moore fancies doing the same again. But we'll see.
Ryan fancied knocking 4 seconds off track record there, didn't he?
He did. John, you put a note on Venetian Lace that I'm gonna reveal, and you said if the kilt doesn't overface this, it could be an Oaks horse. Is this overfacing? Rocking up here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you'd say that.
That's that.
And it'll be the third run of its 14 this year, and then it will end up rated 65 or something next summer, I think. But
tragic, really, isn't it?
It is.
I thought Italy was more of a 4 to 9 shot rather than a 4 to 6 shot. It's boring, but the value is where the value is. Strong on the clock, good back end sectionals. it hasn't come from the Ascot, it hasn't come from Royal Ascot, which I don't think's a bad thing. I wasn't too impressed with Sabah Desert. The second there, Boiling Over, has been well beat at Haydock since.
Yeah.
Waterford Country the Castle even ran respectably in the Chesham, but I think it's head and shoulders above this lot, Italy. I'll leave a Duchy.
Yeah, indeed. I think that will be one half of the blogger priced up bet Ben Keefe double, and the other half is going to be notable speech in the July Cup. Now, we've had two of our most esteemed judges here who I listen to with intent, but I could not be more opposed to you both in this race. And Lee, I feel you echo my view on this fav. So can you back me up a bit here? This feels like a shootout.
I can to a degree.
I couldn't have a bar of this horse. I'll tell you why in a minute. But Lee, you go.
I am in your camp rather than theirs in terms of I don't think this is the right move. It never screams sprinter to me. Fuck the stride data.
Stick it up your fucking ass.
Yeah, stick that up your ass. But then I have to do the but. It's the shittest July Cup I think I've ever seen. And it's so bad for racing. In the past, we've had Australian Raiders.
Yeah, good horses.
Proper horses dropping back in trip and saying, ooh, and making it an interesting affair. I have to just sit it out on that angle because even though I don't like notable speed, the fact is that could be the barometer of the race afterwards. And then if we lay it at sort of 3-1-ish, we're in trouble. But I'm going to give you the dance floor now.
John and Quentin have forgotten more about racing than I'll ever know, but how you can stick this in a July Cup is absolutely beyond me. Never raced below a mile in its life. Now, if you're thinking on the Queen Anne run, your takeaway thought is right. I'm gonna supplement this for the July Cup. 109% finishing speed there. So if you're a sprinter, you mop that up for fucking breakfast. Couldn't remotely get the job done. How on earth do you see this miler who sits off the pace, comes off a decent pace and win as he did in the Guineas? How on earth do you go, right, you can bowl along on a front running track and go and win a July Cup? I couldn't fathom a penny on this horse, and I'm more than likely to be wrong, but everything in my fibre is like, no. I get the class angle, that they're a bunch of wankers, these sprinters, but just not for me at all. Do I have an opposing opinion? Not really. Believing, possibly. I think who we were told, Lee, the shit shoveler info, never been in better form before the old King's.
Yes,
I mean,
savage
it's
order.
fucking up the duff.
Savage
So,
order.
who knows? Who knows if this is still. But arguably, well, not arguably, completely drawn the wrong side there. I mean, front three were 16, 15, 17. That was drawn in one. So the fact the Lairds are persisting with this when it's in Folder Frankel for 250 bags, I think that's probably been overlooked a little bit in the market and is drawn more appropriately here. But look, I could be absolutely off my rocker in taking this on because if it wins, everyone looks the fucking genius. Oh, it's the Guineas winner. It's dropped in class. Blah blah blah. Not for me. But hey,
what price do you make it, Jack?
I'd be like
roughly,
fair question, Quentin. I would honestly be probably about 6-1 on this personally.
But then again, you've got like Whistle Jacket that can't handle fast ground and certainly won't run to its best on fast ground, and that's third in the market. That's the issue, really, when we're trying to work out the race. I get both sides, and I know that's a cop out.
The stablemate symbol of honour. Yeah. Fuck the notable speech thing. They say that's going to the Sussex. If that rocks up in this as the William Buick choice, that'd be fav, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Decent 3-year-old.
Yeah.
2 for 2 this year over sprint trips. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get the race planning. It's an operation that I perennially read wrong, and I probably will have again on Saturday. But I just don't get it personally. We shall see, because he talked about dropping it to kind of 7 for the City York. You think strong pace York, that sort of track that could suit. But coming back to this, I think it's mental. But That's enough from me. No one wants to hear my opinion.
John, you definitely agree with me, don't you? This is like worst July Cup you've seen in your life.
It's just all getting horrible, really. It's going to get worse quick, I think. The wait, I think we've got 2 years before the landscape changes radically. I think counting down, I think we've got 2 years, and then in year 3, I think you'll find there's a dozen courses.
And that's the worry, isn't it? Because we're all kind of cheap speed. Where are these sprinters then? I mean, they're
agree.
either abroad or they're in Big Macs by the end of their 2-year-old career. Like it's just becoming a bit. In theory, this whole breed speed model should mean a strong July Cup, but as we can see, absolutely not the case.
Well, it also shows you that an Aussie don't want to be asked coming over NAF to win £372,000. A top Aussie sprinter could literally come over for the King's Stand or the whatever and then come here and mop up close to £1 million. That's not enough. To be fair, they have races that are worth £1 million to the winner.
Yeah, you win a Group 3 for that or something, don't you? I mean, it is. On that divisive note, some very strong opinions there from us all to try and guide you through this Super Saturday. Let's hope it is one for us. We could certainly do with a few winners. So that is going to be all from us. And thank you for listening. Enjoy your weekends. Goodbye for now.